Manistee City Council for Wednesday, August 8, 2018 is now called to order. Councilman Kowalski will lead us to the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
City Clerk, would you please take roll?
Councilmember Cooper.
Here.
Councilmember Beaton.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Zielinski.
Here.
Mayor Smith.
Here.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Here.
Councilmember Pontiac.
Here.
City Manager.
Here.
City Attorney.
Here.
DPW Director.
Here.
Finance Director.
Here.
Planning and Zoning Director.
Here.
Public Safety Director.
Here.
City Engineer.
Here. Thank you. Public hearings, we have none. Citizen comments on agenda-related items. This is an opportunity for citizens that are present to speak on items that are on the agenda. If you wish to speak on an item, please limit your comment to 5 minutes. Come forward, state your name and address. Are there any citizens that wish to speak on agenda-related items?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Eileen Postma. My address is 390 Piney Road, Manistee, Michigan. So I've been a resident of Manistee County for 21 years, resident of the city for 10 and 11 out in the township. I am the board president of the Armory Youth Project, and our mission is to provide a safe environment where young people can build community and be encouraged in their educational, emotional, physical, and Christian spiritual development. The financial support for the Armory Youth Project comes solely from charitable donations to our nonprofit organization. We have just celebrated our first year anniversary of serving teens in Manistee County, and we're proud to have recently completely installed a brand new kitchen, a $40,000 kitchen back into the Armory, and we're serving meals for the youth, dinners for the youth right now, and we'll be able to do after-school meals for them. We received our 501(c) designation about 2 years ago, and we're applying for a raffle license through the Charitable Gaming Division of the state of Michigan as another method of funding. We're trying to come up with a unique idea for this. So, we plan to conduct these fundraising efforts in a manner that will not interfere with the important work that we're doing with the teens. As part of the application process, we're asking City Council today to recognize our nonprofit status and affirm the charitable work being done in the city of Manistee by signing a resolution on the agenda. Thank you.
Are there any other comments on agenda-related items? If not, we'll move on to consent agenda. All items marked with an asterisk are on the consent agenda are considered by the city manager to be routine matters. Prior to approval of the consent agenda, any member of council may have an item from the consent agenda removed and taken up during the regular course of the meeting. Consent agenda items include approval of minutes, cash balances, quarterly financial update, a quarterly investment update, notification regarding next work session, consideration of disabled American veterans Forget-Me-Not flower sale, consideration of pipelines for troops 2019 event, and consideration of Chamber of Commerce Grapes on a River event. At this time, council could take action to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Zielinski, second by Councilmember Cooper. Is there any discussion? City Clerk, would you please take roll?
Councilmember Cooper.
Yes.
Councilmember Beaton.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Zielinski.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Pontiac.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Unfinished business, we have none. New business. Item A, consideration of designating a voting delegate for the Michigan Municipal League annual meeting. The annual convention of the Michigan Municipal League will be held September 20 through 22nd, 2018. Pursuant to the provisions of the league bylaws, we are requesting you to designate by action of the governing body one official who will be in attendance at the convention as the official representative to cast votes for the city of Manistee at the annual meeting, and if possible, to designate one other official to serve as an alternate. Signed up to attend the conventions are Mayor Smith, Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski, and City Manager Thad Taylor. At this time, council could take action to appoint a voting delegate and an alternate for the Michigan Municipal League's annual convention.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Thad Taylor as the official, the voting,
I second.
yes, voting delegate.
I have a motion by Councilmember Deaton, a second by Councilmember Pontiac. Is there any discussion? Please take roll.
Councilmember Pontiac.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski.
Yes.
Councilmember Beaton.
Yes.
Councilmember Cooper.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. At this time, council could take action to appoint an alternate to the Michigan Municipal League's annual convention.
I'll make a motion to nominate Mayor Pro Tem.
I'll second.
Thank you. I have a motion by Councilmember Grabowski. I have a second by Councilmember Pontiac. Is there any discussion? City Clerk, would you please take roll?
Councilmember Cooper.
Yes.
Councilmember Beaton.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Pontiac.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Consideration of a resolution recognizing the Armory Youth Project as a nonprofit organization. The Armory Youth Project is a 501(c) nonprofit organization. They are applying for a raffle license through the Michigan Lottery Charitable Gaming Division for the King of Hearts raffle. Prior to the state of Michigan issuing the license, the Armory Youth Project must qualify as a local nonprofit organization through recognition by the city, by Manistee City Council. At this time, council could take action to recognize the Armory Youth Project as a local nonprofit organization for the purposes of applying for a charitable gaming license through the state of Michigan.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski, a second by Councilmember Beaton. Is there any discussion?
I do want to remove myself from voting since I'm an employer at, or the Armory is my employer. Is there a conflict?
I don't think that's a financial conflict of interest that requires your excluding yourself.
Not necessary.
No.
Okay. Any other comment? City Clerk, would you please take roll?
Councilmember Cooper.
Yes.
Councilmember Beaton.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Pontiac.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Item C, consideration of an access agreement to perform environmental investigation at the wastewater treatment plant. The Dow Chemical Company currently owns and is responsible for environmental liabilities associated with Morton Salt. Dow has contracted with consultants to perform environmental services and has requested access to the wastewater treatment plant to perform environmental testing and monitoring. The city attorney and the city's contract environmental consultant have reviewed and recommended approval of the access agreement. At this time, council could take action to approve the access agreement to allow Dow Chemical Company to perform environmental testing and reviews of the city's wastewater treatment plant and authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the document.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski, second by Councilmember Cooper. Is there any discussion? City Clerk, would you please take roll?
Councilmember Pontiac.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Cooper.
Yes.
Councilmember Beaton.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Item D, consideration of a resolution local government approval for a Class C liquor license for the Ramsdale Regional Center for the Arts. Under MCL 436.1509, state law provides for municipal civic auditorium liquor licenses for communities with a population greater than 5,500. This type of license would be appropriate for the Ramsdale Theater to use in conjunction with events held at the theater, and would allow it to diversify and enhance its revenue stream and become more financially stable. Seeking local government approval is a required part of the application process. At this time, council could take action to approve a resolution of local government approval for a Class C liquor license under NCL 436.1509 for Ramsdale Regional Center for the Arts.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Deaton, second by Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski. Is there any discussion? Mr. Bradford, is any liability to the city through alcohol being served at Ramsdale?
The Ramsdale Regional Center for the Arts will acquire their own liquor liability policy, so that should provide any coverage if there was any mishaps.
Okay, and there's no cost to the city?
Not to acquire that insurance, the RRCA will be absorbing that. The cost of the liquor license itself runs about $1,000 a year, and again, the RRCA will be absorbing that, so there's no cost to the city.
The cost is under $1,000. That,
It's
the
a-
redevelopment licenses are $20,000, so.
Right, but there's not an acquisition fee for this type of a license.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Bradford?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I
That's okay.
didn't get out quick enough. Who actually is the board the one that's going to apply for the license? Is the board going to be the responsible party?
Well, yeah, the board of the Ramsdale Regional Center for the Arts, the nonprofit organization, is the organization that's applying for the license. So they'll be responsible for setting the policies, procedures, making sure we have trained individuals to bartend, making sure we have proper insurance, that sort of thing.
Are there any further questions or comments? City Clerk, would you please take roll?
Councilmember Cooper.
Yes.
Councilmember Beaton.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Pontiac.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Item E, consideration of purchase of a new wheel loader. The Department of Public Works operates and maintains 2 wheel loaders. The current motor pool budget includes $185,000 to replace the 2004 Kamatasu WA-320. The Department of Public Works completed extensive research and demonstrated available units in 2016 and found the Kamatasu loaders performed the best for the city's operations. They were the lowest cost machines and offered superior servicing. DPW is requesting to replace the current 2004 loader with a new 2018 Kamatasu WA-320 loader. At this time, council could take action to approve the purchase of the 2018 wheel loader for $180,675, which includes a trade-in of the 2004 machine from AIS Construction.
I make the motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski, a second by Councilmember Grabowski. Is there any discussion?
This is
Money
what
that's
we,
already been approved for that. Is this a budget, this is a budget item, right, Mr. Cooper?
Yes, this is included in the current fiscal year motor pool budget.
we already went over the specs and everything that you wanted in this equipment at a prior meeting. Was that not in February?
We did not. Well, we may have discussed it as part of the budget process, but in late 2016, we demonstrated all the available loaders to us, and we bid those out. A competitive process, and the loader that performed the best was the Komatsu out of the ones that we tested. So we purchased one, replaced one of the loaders that we had. Now we're in the process of replacing the second one. when we went back to all the manufacturers, they had not changed any of their models of any significance, that we changed the way that they performed. And so we are proceeding with recommending the purchase of another Komatsu. And the price that was quoted is below the budget for model.
Okay.
And these have 15-year lifespan typical.
Approximately, just depending on usage and hours.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you. City Clerk, would you please take roll?
Councilmember Pontiac.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski.
Yes.
Councilmember Beaton.
Yes.
Councilmember Cooper.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Item F, consideration of a 4-year installment purchase contract with the West Shore Bank Trust and Trader Specialties for a new plow truck. On February 20, 2018, City Council approved the purchase of a plow truck and related equipment in the amount of $191,633. When approved, it was anticipated that financing arrangements would have to be made at a later date. The truck chassis is ready and needs to be paid for, so it can be delivered to the equipment vendor and assembled. The equipment vendor will be paid for on delivery of the finished truck. Staff recommends entering into a 4-year installment purchase contract with West Shore Bank Truck and Trader Specialties of Wine Falls Incorporated and D&K Truck Company to finance the purchase of the plow truck and related equipment. The city attorney has prepared the necessary documents. At this time, council could take action to adopt a resolution to enter into a 4-year installment purchase contract with West Shore Bank Truck and Trader Specialties of Boyne Falls Incorporated and D&K Truck Company to finance the purchase of a plow truck and related equipment, and further authorize the chief financial officer to execute any needed documents.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski, second by Councilmember Cooper. Is there any discussion or questions?
I have one. It says in related equipment, so in the price of $191,633, does that include any related equipment or is?
Well, the purchase was broken into 2 parts, the cabin chassis and then all the equipment that needs to be installed on it. This financing is financing both pieces.
Oh, okay, just.
Mr. Bradford, in the related documents, it indicates there's $160,000, or is that a different item? Is that the whole amount being financed?
Right, we're paying the first 30,000 of it, or roughly, the first
Okay.
portion of that in cash this year, and then the first payment doesn't come until next fiscal year.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
I didn't mean to pull you back down.
Oh, that's okay.
I wasn't quick enough, so.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? City Clerk, would you please take roll?
Councilmember Cooper.
Yes.
Councilmember Beaton.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Pontiac.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Item G, consideration of Salt City Rock and Blues Incorporated Labor Fest. The Salt City Rock and Blues Incorporated has requested authorization for a new event on Saturday, September 1st, 2018. The Labor Fest will begin with a parade and walk at 1:30 p.m. from the Armory on First Street to the First Street Beach Lions Pavilion. Following the walk, the Labor Fest concert will start in the area. The event will run from 1:30 p.m. to 11:59 p.m. At this time, council could take action to authorize the Salt City Rock and Blues Labor Fest on Saturday, September 1st, 2018, subject to appropriate department approvals.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Beaton, second by Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski. Is there any discussion?
This is for that band show, ain't it?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
You can't hear back there real well, I'm getting old, what can I say?
We all are, we all are.
And I'm a little new at this, this is our first year coming before the city council. We have been doing concerts for 5 years in conjunction with the Forest Festival, in which we're able to raise money donated $17,500 to the Lighthouse Preservation Project and $5,000 to the Humane Society. Now we want to move forward and make a little bit bigger family-friendly event during Labor Day weekend. And we've been working with the local unions who are going to put on a parade that will lead down to the event at the Lions Park Pavilion, where we'll have an all-day activity, family-friendly. Bands will start at 2. We're also going to have a car show, a small car show in that immediate parking lot. Kids games, 3 food trucks, and then after 8 o'clock, it's going to become adult only. Our last couple of bands, craft beers, including North Channel Brewery. It will be free admission, but we will be encouraging donations. And all the profits from now on will be going to the new Manistee band shell project at First Street Beach.
How are you gonna control the adult only portion? You're gonna have the underage people leave your head? I know on the application it didn't indicate alcohol would be served.
First of all, how we're going to do that, well, we're definitely going to have security on site, our own insert. And we will be carding people at the door, so you have people when they want to have a wristband. If you don't have a wristband after 8 o'clock, you're going to be asked politely to leave.
Okay.
It's going to be announced on the stage.
You have a fence around it, Paul?
Absolutely.
A double fence?
That's on the application.
We will fence it, similar to what's been happening at the Forest Festival for years. We'll be doing this similar to what's been happening in the event area in the Forest Festival for years.
Any other questions or comments?
Public Safety Director, you have reviewed the plans and you indicated you have no problems with that?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? City Clerk, would you please take roll?
Councilmember Cooper.
Yes.
Councilmember Beaton.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Pontiac.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Item H, consideration of ordinance 18-07, zoning ordinance amendment. A public hearing was held on July 12, 2018 in response to a request from the Downtown Development Authority that would add additional uses and change uses from special use to use by right in the C3 Central Business District. The Planning Commission recommends approval of the amendment. The Council Ordinance Committee met on July 30, 2018 and recommended that the amendment be forwarded to City Council for consideration. As an ordinance, 2 separate readings are required. If this ordinance is introduced this evening, it could be adopted at the next regular meeting. At this time, council could take action to introduce zoning amendment Z 18-07 that would amend the uses in the C3 Central Business District as requested by the Downtown Development Authority.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski, a second by Councilmember Cooper. Is there any discussion? City Clerk, would you please take the roll?
Councilmember Pontiac.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski.
Yes.
Councilmember Beaton.
Yes.
Councilmember Cooper.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Item I, consideration of application to boards and commissions. The city clerk has taken action to advertise vacancies on the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, Compensation Commission, Downtown Development Authority, Historic District Commission, Oil and Gas Investment Board, Parks Commission, TEG Commission, and the Zoning Board of Appeals. Mayoral appointments require a motion, a second, and council voted support. Nominations for council appointment do not require a second. After all nominations are made, council votes on the nominees until one nominee receives majority support. The following applications have been received. Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, 1 vacancy, term ending 6/30/21. Applicants must be city residents or persons with interest in property in the city. This is a mayoral appointment. I appoint Ronald Kip Pomeranke, 361 8th Street.
I'll support that.
Second.
I'll second
I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski, a second by Councilmember Grabowski. Any discussion? City Clerk, would you please take the roll?
Councilmember Cooper.
Yes.
Councilmember Beaton.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
it. Yes.
Councilmember Pontiac.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Compensation Commission, one vacancy, term ending 9/30/22. Applicants must be registered voters in the city. This also is a mayoral appointment. Appoint Ronald Kip Pomranke, 361 8th Street.
I'll support the mayor's appointment.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski, a second by Councilmember Grabowski. Is there any discussion? City Clerk, please take roll.
Councilmember Cooper.
Yes.
Councilmember Beaton.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Pontiac.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Downtown Development Authority, one vacancy, interest member, term ending 6/30/22, mayoral appointment.
I'll support the mayor's appointment.
Second.
Appoint Barry
Yeah,
Lynn.
everybody say his name.
5:32, so I have a motion by Councilmember Beaton and a second by Councilmember Cooper. Is there any discussion? Please take roll. Barry Lynn, 532 4th Street.
Councilmember Pontiac.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski.
Yes.
Councilmember Beaton.
Yes.
Councilmember Cooper.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay, we're making pretty good time. Park Commission, one vacancy, term ending 6/30/21. Applicants may be non-residents, must own real estate or a business profession having a licensed business location in the city, or have a child attending school within the city. Mayoral appointment. I nominate Ronald Kip Pomranke,
I'll support it.
361 8th Street.
I'll support the mayor's. I'll support it. But Mr. Pomeranke, you're gonna be a busy person. I'll tell you.
I only want to know.
You're gonna be busy.
Do I have a second? I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski, second by Councilmember Grabowski. Would you please take roll?
Councilmember Pontiac.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski.
Yes.
Councilmember Beaton.
Yes.
Councilmember Cooper.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Item J. Finally, someone else gets to talk after this. Consideration of the Divine Mercy Catholic Parish Evangelical Walk. The Divine Mercy Catholic Parish St. Joseph Church wishes to hold an evangelical walk on Saturday, August 18, 2018. The walk will commence at 254 6th Street and end at Memorial Park Bandshell. The event will run from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. At this time, the council could take action to support and approve the request for the Divine Mercy Catholic Parish St. Joseph Church Evangelization Walk on Saturday, August 18, 2018, subject to the appropriate department approvals.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski, a second by Councilmember Cooper. Is there any discussion? Please take roll.
Councilmember Cooper.
Yes.
Councilmember Beaton.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Pontiac.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Notices, communications, and announcements. A report from the Planning Commission and the Planning and Zoning Administrator. A regular part of each council meeting is a report from a cooperating agency, organization, or department. At this time, Mr. Mark Whitlock will report on the activities of the Planning Commission and respond to any questions the council may have regarding their activities.
Good evening, council. Thank you for the opportunity to update council on what we, on the planning commission, have been working on for the past year. Our members, Maureen Berry is the vice chair. She's been with us 2004. Marlene McBride, secretary, 2010. Bob Slavinsky, one of the newer ones, 2016. Michael Szymański, 2018. Rochelle Thomas, 2018. Roger Yoder, the granddaddy of the planning commission, 1984. And myself, 2012. Along with Denise Blakely, staff liaison, and Kelly McCall, recording secretary. Presentations that we went through, on 8/3/17, U.S. corridor plan, county planning department and AES. Also on the 3rd of August, 2017, the North Corridor concept, DDA. And on January 4th, 2018, Riverwalk streetscape through DDA. County-owned property that I think everybody's worked on and was much needed to help with expenses. Concurred with the price of the established by the city assessor, recommended marketing of properties, and as of today, 3 properties have sold. Special use permits, River Park Place 2, Edgewater, was the commercial spaces was removed, and Lighthouse Landings, PUD, street, deemed public. Special use permits, the Tabernacle, 77 Hancock Street, mixed use, assembly, eating, drinking, and retail. 5 Cap, Incorporated, 265 First, mixed use, educational facility, and professional offices. Again, special use permits, Tom Amore Senior, duplex at 303 5th Street. And Lakeside Cultivation, LLC, 160 10th Street, marijuana facility. And that is in Grover. It's in the old Century Loading Shed. Ordinance review. Over the past year or two, Denise has received correspondence on expansion of driveways. So we took this upon ourselves to review this. And at this time, we determined no changes were necessary. Parcel splits and combinations. Doug Westerville to our 2019 Fall Street. Tom Amore Senior, Good Shepherd Lutheran Church, 303 5th Street, parking lot in McGill Street. That was on the parking lot on McGill. Excuse me. Faith Covenant Church, 475 and 487 8th Street. Last, Floyd Yoder and Roger Yoder, 705 Davis and 225 7th Street. Site plan review, Mark Matheson, 517 4th, attached garage 20 feet in height, and Robert Tice, 506 4th, detached garage 21 feet in height. Zoning amendments, Z18-03, medical marijuana facilities. Definitions added, Article 2, added to use of table, Article 3, added Section 409, nonconformities, added as a special use, mixed use, peninsula district, added special use, regional commercial district, added as a special use, light industrial district, added as a special use, general industrial district, added Section 1851, special land uses. DDA request, Z18-07, C3 zoning district. We are adding animal grooming, daycare commercial, daycare group, dwelling accessory, educational facility, tattoo parlor, veterinarian clinic, as a use by right. Adding motel as a special use only on key streets. Changing duplex, laundry and dry cleaning, parking facility, public from special use to use by right. And changing sport and recreation club from a special use on Key Street to use by right. Training, we've all done or recorded webinars, which keeps costs down. New members taking online citizen climate courses, Michael Shemansky and Rochelle Thomas. Earned CEUs, continuing education units, to master citizen planner certifications. Our meetings are on the first Thursday at 7 p.m. right here in Council Chambers. Any questions?
Just a comment.
Sure.
I've attended numerous meetings. I'm always impressed by your due diligence and how the board, for the commission, handles and searches and tries to make sure all these things are right. It's an overwhelming task, and I do appreciate all your due diligence.
Thank you. Well, I feel that we have a great team. Of course, we're losing one great team member, Denise, as our leader, but hopefully in time, the new person, whoever that may be, will help. But we truly have a really good, hardworking, very informed commission.
And I might add that this just is a commission, you show up. There is some requirements, there are some things you have to do, some of these webinars we talked about, some classes you have to take, and be knowledgeable in what's really going on, and be able to sort that all out. I'm impressed by that.
That's on our own time.
Yes, absolutely.
And we take care of that. Legwork at different, when we get a special use, something comes in, the members go out and look at things. So my hat's off to that. And you're all invited. I know Councilman Beaton is there, along with you, Roger. The mayor, every once in a while. But I offer invitation to all.
And when I don't have a conflicting meeting, it's one of the best run meetings that I get to attend. People are prepared. People do a diligent job. They filter through a lot of things that makes the city council workload a lot lighter, and I truly appreciate that.
Thank you. So you can please thank any of the members that you do see. Thank you.
At this time, Ms. Denise Blakely will report on the activities of the Planning and Zoning Office and respond to any questions City Council might have regarding their activities.
Well, this is the last one you're ever going to hear from me. So,
Oh, please.
yes, I'm not coming back to do another one. So this is my last annual report on the operations of the Planning and Zoning Department. Day-to-day operations. My days are usually spent issuing different permits, and they can vary from the residential or commercial land use permits, sign permits, projects for the Historic District Commission, review requests for home occupations, and I also send violation letters. This is going to be the hardest thing for me to leave behind, Ed. I'm one of the 2 administrators of the city webpage, and that is my baby. And we just had our annual audit from Civic Plus for review. And there are some key points that I'd like to point out, is that the top level information, we had over 125,000 visits to the site this year, over 175,000 pages reviewed. There was a slight decrease in traffic in the past 12 months, only 2%. And they said, I think, 7 to 10% so you have a concern. So we're right on track, we're doing great. And our visitor pages. Again, the webcam is the most popular thing on our webpage. And that's followed by our beaches and harbors, agendas and minutes, marina, and the police department. And so out of the 6 sites, 4 of them are related to amenities that showcase our harbor, our water features. So I think that's really kudos to Manistee to have such unique features that are so looked at every time.
And mobile statistics. Almost 50% of the visits on the site are done through mobile application. And this graph itself shows a steady increase in this scenario. So you can see I think it went from 38% 2016 to 41%, and we're now at 40% in 2018. So every year that keeps growing. That was a real component that we made sure and added to the web page when we redid it, was updating the mobile app so it's user-friendly. Our rental program. Again, the team at Spicer's does a wonderful job. They've gone through their first 3 cycles, inspecting every unit in the city. City renewed their contract this year, and they're starting again with cycle 1. And the team is amazing. We have Pat Bentley, Chris Gorgorsky, Wendy Carey, Sean Middleton, and last but not least, Mark Easton, who's doing the inspections. Boards and commissions. The city is so lucky to have such wonderful volunteers, and I can tell you I'm very fortunate to work with some of the best. Those are the members of the Historic District Commission, the Planning Commission, and the ZBA. Whenever I send them information, they do their due diligence before meetings, they come prepared. You're very fortunate to have great volunteers. I also serve on the DDA Business Development and Design Committee, and this past year, the 2017 Historic District Study Committee. And one of the accomplishments of that group, along with the recommendation regarding the district, was that every single survey for every single property in the historic district has been updated. The survey document is over 647 pages. Training. I attended the MAP conference in September, and I continue my education by attending and taking webinars to maintain my CEUs for certification. The webinars right now, the cost we pay for the series of webinars that all the members can watch is about the cost for one member to attend 1 3-hour training. So it's been a huge cost savings to the city. Projects, working on city-owned property, the bid packets for the surplus property, the RFPs for the brokers, and the marketing packets. Did the industrial park surveys in February. Did mobile food vending, food truck policy and guidelines. That was not adopted by City Council, but all the information is still available for my predecessor if you decide to move forward. Just finished an environmental practices and standard document. Jeff McCullough and Ed Radford provided information regarding the buildings and services. Couldn't have done without them. That document is being maintained on the webpage. We want to be environmentally friendly. It's not a hard copy, electronic copy. Anybody can view it, download it if they want. We do not have copies readily available. Working right now on the Project Rise and Tide program with the state. Kickoff is actually tomorrow. Yes, by invitation only. Accomplishments. Receiving RRC certification was a big accomplishment for the department the past couple of years. We updated our master plan. And also receiving the MSU Key Partners Award in 2016. And all I can say is thank you. And it's time for me to move on. So.
Question?
I mean, I want to say one thing. I've had some investigations with the old people. We did get convictions now, so that's really grateful.
Thank you.
Denise, I've said this a couple times at different meetings, but I'll say it again because it's near and dear to me that I am happy and sad at the same time. I'm sad and disappointed for the people, for the taxpayers of the city of Manistee, because you did a good job for all of us. I'm happy for you because you're going to go on with another part of your life and enjoy your grandchildren like you wanted to do. You're going to be missed. We're definitely going to struggle for a few days, but we'll make it. You enjoy your retirement. Bless you for all the work you've done tremendously. One of the things that I've noticed over the years is that your door was always open. Not only to me as a council person, but me before I was on council, and to other people. You're there, you're trying to help, and that's real, you can't train anybody to do that. That's just a gift. And thank you very much for all that.
People don't always get the answer they're looking for, but to get the correct answer, and for that, I'm truly thankful for the way you handle questions and provide information, and help guide not only the citizens, but council members and staff that truly wonderful. I'm going to ask you to stand there, and I'm going to ask City Council to all come forward. Denise, we have a resolution of thanks and appreciation to Denise Blakely. Whereas Denise Blakely began her career with the City of Manistee on August 16, 1993, as support staff to the City Assessor, Community Development Director, and Code Administrator, steadily and deservedly advancing to her current position as Planning and Zoning Director. And whereas during her tenure, Denise demonstrated outstanding capabilities, initiative, and professionalism in the execution of her many duties and responsibilities. And whereas through hard work and dedication, Denise obtained Citizen Planner, Master Citizen Planner, Sustainable Communities, and Zoning Administrative Certification through Michigan State University. And whereas Denise worked to get the city designated as a redevelopment-ready community, with the city receiving certification on January 20, 2017, one of 9 communities in the state to achieve this designation. And whereas Denise will remain a great friend to employees of the City of Manistee, and whereas Denise has served the City of Manistee with pride, dedication, and integrity since August 1993, completing 25 years of service to the community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that on behalf of the city, the Manistee City Council and the citizens of the community, we give thanks and appreciation to Denise Blakely for her long and loyal service to the community and congratulate her on her retirement as of August 31, 2018. Further say on this resolution.
It's not goodbye, you made me calm, you know that.
This takes us to item 10, concerns and comments. Citizen comments. This is an opportunity for citizens to comment on municipal services, activities, or area of city involvement. Citizens in attendance shall be recognized by the mayor for comment, limited to 5 minutes. Letters submitted to council will not be publicly read. Are there any citizens that wish to make comment on municipal services for the city of Manistee? Please come forward.
My name's Tom Welsh. My wife is here with me, Susan. We live at 542 8th Street in the city of Manistee. And the last time I was in front of you, there were just myself and one other person to talk about this topic. This time, we've managed, with the help of our leader, so to speak, put together 8 or 9 people to come again and ask the city for some sort of relief from the deer predation which is taking place in our area. Nothing's gotten better since the last time I came before you. In fact, it's gotten worse. We still have people in the vicinity feeding deer, and I think that needs to be spelled out once again in some sort of legal form to let the people know that feeding deer is not appropriate or legal, because I understand there's a statute of some sort that prevents that. And we have a real problem because just before I drove over here tonight, I sent my yellow lab out to run 3 deer out of my backyard. And I have had up to as many as 27 in my backyard in the wintertime. We've got a real problem. We've got ticks. black ticks, black-leg ticks, which carry Lyme disease, and we have mild winters, so the deer this year are having twins, so we've got deer and fawns all over the place. And I would like to ask the council once again to look into this and give us some relief. Our hard-earned tax dollars are going for buying local, at the local nurseries, buying plants, shrubs, and in order to get those things to grow, my house looks like a fortress because it's got nothing but wire fencing around it, so that at least I can look at my flowers without them getting eaten to the ground. They've even taken to eating the rhubarb, which I never used to eat in the past. So I don't know if anybody else is going to talk about this, but I'm asking you to reconsider and look at this matter again and reiterate any rules and regulations regarding deer feeder. Thank you.
I'd just like to make a comment, a few meetings ago, I requested or asked the city manager to get the DNR here to talk and start this conversation over again. And I believe the public safety director is working on that. So we're going to have the DNR here, and if you watch our agendas, you'll see when they're going to be here, and that would be a good time to come in and talk to and hear what's going on. We haven't forgot about it. We are working on it, or we're trying to work on it.
Well, other cities in the state of Michigan have gone so far as to cull it. Downstate, they're doing it. We, for whatever reason, have opted otherwise, but we need to do something because people like myself and many of these people in this room spend a lot of money. My house won Yard of the Month about 4 or 5 years ago. It wouldn't win it today.
Sure. Thank you.
Are there others? Yes, please come forward.
Hi, I'm Pat Rebedew, and I live at 804 Tamarack Street in Manistee. He spoke a lot of our concerns, but my one concern is we have like 13 school buses going down our street. Deer are crossing the street all day long. If one of those school buses hit a deer, you're going to have a bigger liability if those kids get hurt, and they're there all the time. I looked out our bedroom window this morning. We had 8 deer in the backyard, a buck, mother deer, I don't know how many babies. He said 2, there's been 3 babies in one group of months. So, boy, if you can do something. We've been in our house for over 30 years. We've never had this problem. And it's getting worse every year. Thank you.
Are there any other citizen comments? If not, we will move on to officials and staff. Oh, we got one more? Okay, I didn't see you, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm pleased a little bit. Kathy Ebling, 2nd Street, right in town. I know some of these other people are out a little bit, but I'm right in town. And our neighbors, my hostas are just sticks. And I try to get away from hostas. I mean, I'm trying to plant things that they don't like. But even the things that they say they don't like, they're getting this year. They're just going through and plowing everything down. And that's right downtown, so. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other comments? I'm not trying to rush things, so. Okay, come on.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Barker. I live at 711 Locust Street. I walk my dog frequently around the neighborhood, and every once in a while we take a shortcut home through the Jefferson School playground. I'm a responsible pet owner. I always have babies to pick up after my dog. However, I have to watch where I step on the children's playground to be sure I do not step in deer droppings. Now, school is going to be starting soon. I don't know who's supposed to be in charge of cleaning that up, but that's not going to be a welcome sight in the classrooms or in the hallways of the school. And another thing, the deer are not afraid of anyone. As I say, I walk my dog. I have gotten to within, less than 15 feet with a pulling dog at the end of a leash. The deer are not afraid. They don't run away. They really need to be gotten rid of because they're just, nothing keeps them in control. Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay. Officials and staff, city manager.
Just wanted to let council know this morning at a meeting with the chair of the county board of commissioners, the county administrator, and the county planner to talk about options for interim services once Denise's retirement is official, and also to see if there was any interest in the providing planning and zoning services to the community, to the city on a contractual basis. They were interested in the idea, and so they're going to take it back to their board later this month to see how the entire board feels, and then they'll get back with me. And so just want to let council know that I took that step, and I'll update you as I get more information.
City attorney.
Nothing, Your Honor, thank you.
City clerk.
Had a successful election yesterday. Good voter turnout, and just waiting to hear back from the Board of Canvassers. They should have us hopefully certified by the end of the week.
Planning and zoning director.
Nothing, Your Honor.
That you started on today. Public safety director.
Glad you called me first, because Kula takes a heck of a lot of time up here, so I'm trying to get up before him. I've only been here for 15 months, and I'd like to thank Denise also for the time that she's been here and be able to help both departments. It's been wonderful. It's nice to be able to come up and see her smiling face and sure her welcoming into the office, so she'll be dearly missed for me, and I've only been here for a short period of time. I'd like a quick segue in, as you've probably seen in the news recently, that we finally were able to nab on to the young man that was breaking into all the cars and outbuildings throughout the city and the county. Our law enforcement officers did a wonderful job, sort of rolled from the stolen gun into getting him to admit to a lot of things and taking them all around and recovering 2 pickup loads worth of stolen property. Also like to comment that our fire department here over the last 3 months has been averaging over 100 calls for service, which is 20 more than usual over the last 3 months. So we've been very busy and very proud of the services that we're providing. Thanks.
Chief financial officer.
Nothing, Your Honor.
Public works director.
Just a couple things. In the First Street, Hancock, Simmons Street area, we've got 2 contractors that are in town doing the pipe rehabilitation pilot project. So they're in the process of lining the mains right now. It's going very well. There's some short-term traffic disruptions that occur because they've got a lot of equipment. And so we've been posting, with the help of the chief, the routes for no parking overnight, but they're getting in and out each street in a day. There is a chance that fumes from the epoxy in the pipes can get into the houses. We had an occurrence of that yesterday. So we had the contractor modify the notification document that they're giving out to each resident, and it just lets them know that to make sure they fill all the drains, especially like floor drains in your basement. If the traps dry out, some of that sewer gas can be coming back in the house. And the epoxy smell is short term, but it's very strong. And if anybody has any issues with that, they can call Central Dispatch or the fire department directly, and we'll assist in ventilating that. So the contractor's been great to work with, trying to be very proactive, doing door-to-door, handing out and talking to as many people as possible. So that process is going very well. Today, the city manager gave you an email update on, we received notification today that the District 10 Health Department put a public notice advisory for Fifth Avenue Beach for high E. coli counts. The state of Michigan, the health department has a grant to test the beaches on a regular basis and then post those. And the city actually tests Man-Made Lake voluntarily and then submits our data to them, and it gets posted in the same manner. So they had some high readings on Monday. So the notification came out today. They retested everything today. Our staff actually took additional tests today just to back that up, and the results take 24 hours to incubate and to count the colony. So we should know tomorrow if things are okay or if there's some sort of issue. We've got no reports or any indications of an incident that occurred, so it could just be an anomaly, but we'll keep you abreast of that. Thank you.
The bluffs and water. I was of the opinion that in the past there was water leakage at the bluffs, and that they were offset like citizens would be for an abnormal reading, but were responding and responsible after that for the repair and usage. Is that not true?
The water adjustment policy allows for any water customer to apply for an adjustment if they had some sort of leak or some sort of occurrence. That occurrence has to be witnessed and verified by the city water department. And we also have to verify that the repairs were properly made. Their bills have to be, is it 3 times the normal monthly usage? And they can only receive one adjustment every 3 years. So the ownership has changed. When they turned their system on, they did have some leaks. They have reported to me, I've met with them a couple times, that they've done some major repairs to it. I've asked for data through our billing department, but Kelly was on vacation last week and this Monday, so she's getting caught up on stuff. So once we get all that data together, we'll see if they fall within that 3-month window and to see if they qualify for the rest of the policy.
I understand they sold the property and the new property owners were concerned that they never repaired it. I mean, previous incident was some time ago. So.
But the adjustment that was created was, do you remember how long ago, 2-3 years ago? And it was prior to the issues that they had when they closed the park down. When they closed the park down, there were a lot of broken pipes and a lot of, millions of gallons of water. They did not receive an adjustment for that. And we tried to assist them the best that we could to detect and locate and, affect those repairs. But it wasn't our responsibility, and they got no credit for the last round of stuff. So we just need to check if this is within that three-year window.
I've got a couple questions. Do you have an update about the grant for the First Street Beach tennis courts?
Thad and I met with representatives from the Community Foundation last week, Monday, I think. Week and a half ago. We met on site at the marina to discuss the docks, and then we went down to First Street Beach and reviewed the tennis courts and reviewed both of those applications. So I think they gathered all the information they needed from us, and we're waiting for their decision.
And then you guys are still picking up brush piles, right?
Correct.
Is it on a call base or weekly?
Yeah, brush pickup is completed throughout the city. We try to do them on Fridays. We've had a tremendous amount of brush this summer. So the policy is that residents can call and be added to that brush list. They just need to call the Public Works office. We add them to the list. A route is created based on the list that we collect through the week. And then we can also schedule additional time on a Thursday or following on Monday if we know that we can't get it done in a day. So it helps us to try to be more efficient and plan for the resources. You've probably all seen that big red truck that pulls the chipper behind it. And we've ordered vinyl lettering for that truck so that it says, for brush pickup, please call 723-7132. So hopefully that'll help kind of advertise that out to the community.
The reason I ask is I've had a lot of emails saying that they have brush piles and not getting picked up on Maxwell County. Just add it to
That's,
it.
yeah, that's all they need to do is call. And usually, when people get upset that, geez, I see the truck driving by, how come they didn't pick it up? And we've debated this many times, but if we have to send that crew out and drive all 48 miles of streets every week, it would take 2 to 3 days to be able to pick all that up. So it's very important for us to have that planned out schedule and know exactly what that workload is. And usually, once they realize that all it takes is a phone call, even if Kathy's off or something, they can leave a message and we'll make sure we get it.
Jeff, I have a question.
Sure.
Is there any reason why that brush pickup couldn't happen on a different day other than a Friday? Because a lot of people are doing their weekend yard work, and then it's sitting out there for 5 days, or they forget to call. So.
I don't think there's anything magical about that, honestly. We do the leaf bags on Tuesday, use Wednesday as a catch up for that, but yeah, we could give that some thought.
Because that's the biggest complaint I've seen, and if we get a little bit of wind and you gotta keep chasing the brush around.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is our city engineer here?
Yes, nothing, Your Honor.
Neither? Okay. Mr. Cook?
We have some anniversary date cards to hand out tonight. The first one on top is Denise Blakely, 25 years. Daniel Rapp, that's city, please. Right. Rick Tetzler, yeah, that'll be yours. John Petty, is that yours? 8 years. Evan Slavinsky. 1 year. Scott Edens, 2 years. You might as well stand up and get home. Brian Moore, 1 year. Scott McCullough, 1 year. Keith Darling, that's fire department. Douglas Hassick, the police department. Jeff Splits is you. And James Riley. You get the majority. I noticed he didn't put stamps on it, so no increase in pension.
Thank you. Anything else?
Denise, I told you this, and I'm just gonna keep saying it, every realtor in town is gonna miss you. Thank you for your, I've known you for 14 years. Probably because I call you so much. Just thank you for all your hard work. Really wish you much happiness going forward. Thank you.
Mr. Middleton, would you be so kind as to bring me up to date on SSO 18?
Similar to the last time you asked, we have our basis of design submittal into the DEQ, and we requested a meeting for August with the DEQ to review that document. I need to follow up with them. I haven't heard back. They said they'd get back with me on a date. So I'll start pushing for that. It's not required as part of our process, but just something we want to do to help move us along on their review. So that's the DEQ part of it. So we've got our piece of the puzzle in. Our next major deadline is next May. We need to have plans and specifications ready to go, but we need some direction from the DEQ to do that. So we'll work towards that end. And then as far as funding goes, we've got 2 funding sources. Well, it's 1 funding source, rural development, but 2 phases. Phase 1 is the rehabilitation of the pipes. And though that application was submitted, it's approved and accepted, and we're going through the process now of getting ready for closing, which is a laundry list of items we have to do for rural development, and one of those being prepare plans and specs. So we're working towards that on the phase 1 funding source. Phase 2, the application, a lot of pieces have been submitted, an engineering report, an application. They've reviewed it, And we're going through environmental review right now, because down by the treatment plant, we have a Morton property, it's a little more complex. So that environmental review is ongoing, and when that's completed, we'll work on submitting and finalizing that application. So we're probably within a month and a half of having that application in, hopefully approved for funding on phase 2.
I want to thank the chief. Chief, I know how much work went into catching that kid, getting him off the street. That's great. Also, I want to tell you, the people with the deer problem, I have them in my yard, you jump over my fence. My fence ain't very high, about 5 feet, but they still get over it. I know what you're going through with that stuff.
I know.
Get a resolution. I only get a couple, you get a lot more than that.
It's only
I know the
money.
babies that come through with them. So, I appreciate it, thank you.
Just would like to thank Denise. You've been a real big asset to the city, and everyone that I've talked to has just loved your help and how wonderful you are. So you will be missed. And I want to thank the city EMS. I had a call in for my son. He's autistic, and they were able to work with him very well. So they've had a lot of good training, and they're fast, even though they were on the other side of town and the bridge was up. So thank you for that. And I just want to remind everybody that we have a big event, or a lot of events this weekend. So get out, enjoy them. There's a lot down at the beach, at the Ramsdale, River Street. So you guys should stay pretty busy. You're here. Thank you.
Okay, compile on here for Denise and her wonderful service once again. Great presentation tonight to bring us up to date on one of the primary functions of the city. Chairman Whitliff, thank you for a good presentation. And I agree, all the members of the Planning and Zoning Commission are diligent people and deserve appreciation for their efforts every day. Streets, I keep hearing from people concerning streets. One of the biggest things I hear from is that my street's not on any list, it's not on the 5-year plan, it's not on the capital improvement plan, and such as that. One of the things that people often ask me is, why can't we have a plan that identifies when a particular street is going to get done? Is it going to be 6 years from now? Is it going to be 7 years? Is it going to be 10 or 12? When is it going to happen? And I know I asked Mr. McCool before if we have a list of when the last time a street received service or rehabilitation and such. So, I would like us to consider some sort of an action or plan to, I know we just went through Public Act 51 remapping and verification. So surely somewhere, somehow, someone went out and looked and measured and verified everything. But I would like to see us have a comprehensive, forward-looking plan. And I know it's going to take a lot more resources than we have, but we need to be diligent as we move forward and work on it. Deer, I live on First Street and had a deer in my backyard this winter. So I've come back from football games and seen 4 of them standing in front of the Dairy Queen. I thought they were waiting for it to open or something. But it was past season since it was football season. In the past, the deer call was stopped because of public safety concerns. People wouldn't allow permission for the DNR to shoot the deer. The DNR sharpshooters wouldn't shoot in heavy residential areas because of liability concerns. When that came up, and I think that was a little predate before our city manager got here and public safety director. Part of the concerns was when the DNR says it was unsafe, then the Michigan Municipal League says you have no liability coverage if there is an injury or a claim for a deer call.
How can other cities do it then?
Well, the other cities have different circumstances. When you go down to Lansing and you go to some of those places where where they have hundreds of acres of enclosed territory and do deer calls, that we did have the DNR come up.
But we've got the
DNR
country club that you can negotiate with. There's nothing there between the country club and Wisconsin. If they require a shut off.
I'm telling you, we had the DNR come to the town and perform an evaluation, and they would not do the deer call.
We'd like to have them come again.
We've asked to engage them again. You know, it's a matter of people in areas that are open enough to perform it, giving permission for people to shoot the deer. I mean, there's more than one way to handle those, and you know, I just bring it up. You know, we have re-engaged, as Mayor Pro Tem Zelinski has said. He's asked the question. Jeff?
Just make sure you allow.
4 years ago, we had it passed. How they passed it, they was gonna go ahead and do it. How come now they turned it down?
Yes, they did, and that was because we just, it was police officers shooting the deer. It wasn't trained sharpshooters, it wasn't expert deer hunters. The plan was for the local police to shoot the deer.
Police aren't capable of shooting a gun straight? I mean, don't they take firearms training? We did in the military. I mean, I would trust our police more than anybody.
If I can get within 15 feet of a deer with a dog straining on his leash.
I'm just saying that we have asked that the DNR be re-engaged and that the situation be
We
reevaluated.
just want to know when you're going to have the DNR here again, and hopefully you will publish that, because we'll be back.
Well, I would close by saying I thank everybody for being here. It's one of the best crowds we've had in quite a while here for City Council. Motion to adjourn?
Motion.